so much for making time to watch me, and today's video we are looking at some things on your face that will let you know that you are having a serious or a deep health problem. But before I go down in this presentation, I like to make a disclaimer. This video is not made for you to actually get the knowledge and start diagnosing people. The reason why I wouldn't want you to do that is because you don't want to start a fight. You don't want to let somebody feel bad. It's actually a bad manner to actually, start looking at people's faces and telling them that an expert told me something, that when you have bags beneath your eyes, when you have black spots beneath your eyes, your neck, in your armpits, is blah 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 blah, and then you quote me. So I like us to get to understand this video is for yourself. You have to actually pick the knowledge here and then assess your health in it. If you fault in any part of it, then you know how you can solve it, even as we give solutions also in this video, and then we can also recommend other things to you. So you wouldn't want to try that by diagnosing your spouses, your family members, your friends, because of the knowledge you have here. Normally, when you go online, you find a lot of medications about these situations, but even the first 5 pages of Google will tell you a lot of medications. But you realize that there's actually something you've been doing that is bringing up this kind of thing on your face. And in the video, we are going to take our time to let you get the fundamental principles of the things that bring about some of these things that we see on our face that tell us that there's a very serious health problem and we need to be very careful about it. All right, I hope that this disclaimer would actually be taken into consideration. The first one that we like to talk about is balding. I have already made a video on balding, and I will leave that video's link in this particular video's description. I will leave the link there so you can check the full details on the video on balding. And I'm going to talk briefly about it in this video. Balding has got to do with high levels of the DHT enzyme, and we can normally take pumpkin seeds, zinc, green tea to inhibit this kind of enzyme. So if you want to know more about this balding matter, you can check in the video description. I will leave a link there, and it will take you to that video that I made specifically on that one. All right. Now, the second one that we also have to know is when you are losing your eyebrows, especially the outer part of your eyebrow, it's a clear indication that you have a hypothyroid issue. That is low levels of thyroid, and then you need iodine or iodine to actually supplement these low levels of thyroid in your body. So the image here is actually giving us a picture of the condition we are talking about. The third one is bloodshot eyes. Could be a liver problem. It could also be that you drank the night before yesterday and you had a hangover and you actually experienced this kind of bloodshed on your eye. Now let's look at something here. After the hangover, if you had bloodshed eyes, it actually means that there is something wrong, or there's something relating to the liver that could possibly come from you eating something, or maybe there's a stress also on the liver, especially if it's red on the inside of the eyelids. It's a sugar problem. The fourth one is darkened circles underneath the eyes. Normally diabetics have this kind of situation where there are darkened pigments. This is a pigment issue, so they have these darkened circles and be underneath the eye, sometimes in the armpit, sometimes on the neck. It's as a result of insulin resistant issue. So high levels of insulin is actually affecting the melanin in the body, And this thing can be corrected by going into a healthy keto diet and also practicing intermittent fasting. I'll leave a link to intermittent fasting also in the video's description that I have made, and I hope it helps. Now, the fifth one that we like to look at is bags beneath the eyes. Sometimes, even as we are looking at this image here, bags beneath the eyes, sometimes on top of the eyes, so the person's face looks so swollen. This is a blood sugar condition, and that can also relate to a kidney problem. Now, if there's anything that destroys the kidney very fast, then that very thing is sugar. And so you would agree with me that the high levels of sugar that we take has a way of affecting the kidney, and this situation normally should give us an idea that there is a tampering of the kidney, and also the level of sugar in the blood is being mismanaged, and that can actually result to serious issues in the future. So we need to look at this. You have to manage your sugar intake, and this is something that really helps so much. All right. The sixth one is when there's an oily skin. It means that the oily gland or the sebaceous gland is actually producing too much of androgens, and so this kind of thing is normally experienced. If you are a man, you need to take more of zinc to actually help correct this situation. The zinc is actually going to regulate the estrogen, and if you're a female, this is what we have to know. You also need to take more of zinc. Usually, if you are a female and you have too much of androgens, it could also relate to a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome. And this condition normally also, it comes with facial hair, acne, apart from you getting an oily face. And so it should tell you that your carbohydrate intake as a female is very high, and that is actually depleting zinc in your body, and that brings about this kind of acne, facial hair, oily face, and all that. So if you're a female, you need to also check on this particular thing very carefully. So zinc is both good for males and females, even as we talk about this condition. But if you're a female and you have more of the androgens, then it could also relate to this kind of situation I talked about. Today I'm not talking about polycystic ovarian syndrome, but it's just a branch for us to have a fair idea. We'll go into that one the next time when we come again. Also, the other one that we have to look at, even as we are talking about some of the things that come on the face and they reveal serious or deep health problems, is red cheeks. Even as we are looking at the image over here, red cheeks could also be that the person is having a Cushing syndrome, which is as a result of high levels of cortisol. But apart from that, red cheeks medically also illustrate that there is a microbial imbalance, and we can mitigate this microbial imbalance by taking in some other natural antibiotics like garlic, woodworm extracts, oregano, thyme, and a lot of other natural antibiotics we can think of. So this would help to create a balance of the microorganisms, and this situation, as we look over here, would not stand when there is a balance microbial activity, apart from it being a Cushing syndrome that is as a result of high levels of cortisol. That's a stress hormone. We can also be taking in some natural probiotics, like the sauerkraut. So natural probiotic in the form of sauerkraut would also help to actually create this kind of balance that is bringing about this red cheeks, apart from it being a Cushing syndrome. Now, we also have to look at another one, that is the scaly, peeling type flaky skin that you normally get around your nose, in your ears. What is it? This is a combination of low omega-3 and high levels of omega-6 fatty acids Normally the ratio is supposed to be 1:1. So when the ratio is not 1:1, then you would have to either supplement the other. So somebody will ask the question, so how do we know that we have an equal amount of this ratio you are talking about? There's actually a test kit out there that you can actually use a blood sample to test, and then it will tell you if the omega-3 is 1 proportionately to the omega-6, and then you will know that if there's an imbalance, you would have to take omega-3. Of course, the cod liver oil is there in the form of capsules too, is there. The dummy in the form of gelatinous capsule too is there. You can take that one, and then you can take other products that are very rich in omega-3, fatty acids. But if the omega-6 is lower, you can also try to take foods like chicken. Chicken is very good in omega-6, and also fried foods, especially when they are fried with canola oil, soy oil, and corn oil. These are also very rich in omega-6, and that's going to help to balance the ratio, and it's really going to help. So if you have a lot of dry skin issue and dry hair issue, you need to take more products that are rich in omega-6 fatty acids, like chicken, foods that are fried in corn oil, soy oil, and the canola oil. Like I said, it's really going to help. Now let's move to the other one. Now this one, just like we are looking at the image here, blackheads. It's a simple vitamin D deficiency. The moment you start having this on your face, it tells you that your vitamin D level is very low, so you would have to supplement yourself of vitamin D, and that's really going to help. Yeah. Now the last one that we are looking at is when you have cracked corners of the mouth. It's vitamin B2 deficiency. Vitamin B2 deficiency prevents the liver from being damaged, apart from other functions that it gives to the liver. And so deficiency of it affects the skin and create fissures, and these fissures or cracks can actually bring about chapped lips, cracked heels on the back of your heels, even as we are looking at the image over here, and then we are getting exactly what we are talking about here. You normally get these little cracks at the back of your heels when you consume so much of refined flour, like cereals, pancakes, biscuits, bread. So much consumption of this refined flour products can actually bring about the deficiency in vitamin B2. But if it's a cold sore, is actually a herpes simplex, and that is of course a viral infection. And the best way to put that back in remission is to take natural help and something that has an antiviral property, and that is natural, like the garlic. Zinc is also really going to help. A recent data has found that prolonged fasting helps to actually get rid of certain viruses, and we can also try to look things from that perspective when it is a cold sore, and of course that's when we are looking at it being a viral infection. Thank you so very much for making the time to have watched me, and I appreciate you to be on this channel to watch. And then if you enjoy the content and you'd like us to give out more of these healthy videos, kindly subscribe to this channel, and then you can comment below, you can share and like as well. Hope to see you same time next week.